Hello guys and welcome to Aslan Live. Today we're going to talk about our draw against Fenerbahce. It is not much to talk about than the referee Yasin Kol today. I am just so pissed off right now how one referee can change the game so much. I've never seen something like this before. The thing people should understand is that when you are always giving these 50-50s, or it's not even 50-50s, screw that. When it's clear free kicks to us and you're not giving it, you are giving the Fenerbahce fans, the coach, their manager, their players, everyone energy, belief, while you are dragging our players down, our fans down, and so on. This referee, for every situation he gave away, where we should have had free kicks, where they should have got sent off, and so on, that the referee didn't do anything is for me insane. That the VAR didn't do anything is for me insane. Skriniar should have gotten 2 red cards. The first one is clear. It's the same as Caicedo got yesterday. Do they not follow football in the world? One of the biggest games yesterday between the first and second place in the Premier League. Of course they are watching it. So for me, this is just... I'm not even saying that they are bad referees. These referees are doing this on purpose. It's nothing else to say. And the second one, where Skriniar... Oh no, the first one, where he's tackling Gabriel Sara. We don't get the free kick. Where it is a dangerous situation to get the free kick. If we had gotten free kick there, again, their energy would have fallen down while our would have got up. It's so much about energy as well. I know tactics, mactics, everything is so important, but in derbies, the energy to knock down their energy for every position is so important. But what did the referee do? No free kick. So they countered. They got the ball again. They got the attack again. Not that they created anything, they didn't. And their fans was so silent. The second one, where it is a clear free kick just outside their 16. And what Skriniar is doing afterwards, where he's kneeing him in his stomach. And how they're not showing the replay of that situation. We need to look it live from there in the second it's happening. They're not even showing it on the replays. That behavior alone is a red card. And no, we don't get the free kick. They get the attack again. We need to run down again. Their fans is like, yes, we get the attack again. Our fans, our players, everyone. Confidence and everything is just getting down then. It's so many situations where Davinson Sanchez is taking the ball clearly from Kerem and they're getting a free kick right outside R16. These small details every time will change the game, and it did. Lemina's yellow card for... He's even taking his foot away to not tackle him dangerously. Yet he's getting punished. The one player you should have been focused on in this game is Skriniar. How he's diving, how he's screaming, how he's so dirty player. Everyone knows it. In the Europe League, the referees are laughing at him because he's jumping like I don't know. But here in Turkey, beep, beep, beep, beep. No yellow cards, no red cards. No. We are so afraid of that. Did we play fantastic? No. But we did the right thing. When we were 1-0 up, we were more dangerous on the counterattacks. Fenerbahce didn't create anything. And they would have created less and we would have created more if it had been a normal referee. A normal referee. Let's say he would have given the favor to the home team, like 60%, like it's normal in derbies. No, Yasin Kol, 90%, 95%. I'm not sure if he even gave us anything. Yet for every position, he gave Fenerbahce something. First of all, I'm proud of the team. They showed character again. They're always showing character when we need it, especially in the league. We did everything correct. The game was in our favor in terms of how the game was played. Leroy Sané got us a really good goal. I think we had so control on Fenerbahce, they didn't create anything. And with those free kick positions, with that potentially red cards, they would have lost that game. We could have won this game 2-0, 3-0. And it would have been so important. I really don't know what to say. Barış Alper, he's getting an arm in his face and he's blowing a free kick there to, of course, the Fenerbahce. Barış Alper doesn't do anything. These small details everywhere on the pitch. They got the restart. We need to run down again. It's two clear things there, red cards. But all the other hundreds of things that happen in the game. And it's so... And another thing. Okan Hoca. Arda Unya, yes, we love him. But we all saw it in the Union game as well. His positioning is not great yet. He got a very good potential, but don't put him in as a center back. Even, if the referee had been normal, that situation wouldn't happen either, because we would have got free kick, they would have got red card, they couldn't push us like they did, blah blah blah, everything like that. But why don't you put Davinson Sanchez in as a center back if you are changing out or you need Lemina as a midfielder? Why are you then forcing Arda Unyay to play as a center back in this game? The whole planning with Arda Unyay has been so awful as well. He needs playing time every week and every week, in and out. 90 minutes to learn his positioning, to learn where he should stay high, where he should fall back, and so on. Because his raw potential is insane. But you're putting him in as a center back. Come on. In this game. He could have done so well as a right back. He could have started as a right back, and I think he would have done very good. Davinson Sanchez did very good to not be a right back. But you saw he struggled, on the small, tight spaces when they played 1-2. He didn't get the help he should from the winger and so on. He struggled a bit, but he did his absolutely best. To have Davinson Sanchez there to defend in the box in the last minutes would have been so important. Yet Arda Unyay is there. 1 versus 1. I'm not even blaming him. Kazımcan did a fantastic job. Did everything he could. He played fantastic. I think the whole team played. İlkay Gündoğan, the maestro on the pitch today. Gabriel Sara ran his socks off. Today I think he was very good, Gabriel Sara. Leroy Sané, I could have dragged my hair out in some positions, but he was the one player who created anything. His physique is insane. He's always playing on these small, risky details. It's all or nothing for Leroy Sané when he does a thing. Either he's dribbling his man or he's losing the ball. Of course, it's not like that all the time, but he's playing a very risky game when he's playing, but he played well. Lemina, for me, maybe man of the match. Abdul Karim had full control. Barış Alper ran his socks off. Osimhen played 20%. If he had been 50% today, he would have scored goals. I'm pretty sure on that because he got room. The whole team did well, but it was one man who didn't let us to get crowned with 3 points, and that was the referee. I'm not blaming anyone else rather than the referee, and I'm so tired of people. I saw it on Bein Sport, for example, when they are talking like, because Okanoja said we should we should be so grateful that we didn't break 2 or 3 legs, that Kazımcan didn't lose his eyes or whatever it was. And then in the studio, people who are earning money on being football experts. Yeah, but and they the worst thing, if it is a Fener hooligan, okay, he can say whatever he wants. But it's like professionals, in the studio there. And they're like, yeah, but Okan Hoca, your team didn't play well either. No, that's because where is the red cards? Where is the positions where we should get free kicks? What did Fenerbahce create? They didn't create anything when they were 1-0 down. And all of our injuries. Yet, these football experts think they have, that they even earn one lira is for me shameful, because these people don't understand anything, and they are hooligans behind their dresses, and that's for me the worst. If you're just a hooligan, be that. Okay, have your jersey on or scream like me for Galatasaray, have these things on behind you. But when you're trying to be objective and yeah, but your team didn't create anything and blah blah blah blah blah, blah, and how can you talk like that? These people should not earn anything in my eyes, to be honest. They are so shameless. I have no words for those people who are like, yeah. It's for me, this TFF, Turkish Football Federation, how they still are in charge is for me insane. How this referee is getting the games time after time. How our board can't even say anything against this referee. It's too late now. He got appointed. We all knew it when he became the referee. We all knew that he was going to referee this game. And we knew potentially how this could have ended. And it ended in a extremely bad way for us. And if people are like, yeah, he's just afraid, his home supporters and blah, blah, blah. No. He gave red card to us against Besiktas for Davinson Sanchez. This guy is not afraid whatsoever. This guy is just... this guy has no honor, to be honest. The way he refereed today is for me, I just need to see it. Was Yasin Kol was the referee against Besiktas? Yes, it was. I think it was in both games where Frankowski got red card as well. So this guy is not afraid to give a red card to us. But when it comes to Fenerbahce, when it comes to even clearer situations, he just stands there. He's not even giving... Forget about not giving yellow card. He's not even giving a free kick on a red card situation. And that the VAR and that the Bein Sports replay system is not showing Skriniar's how he's kicking Gabriel Sara's stomach is for me insane. And how our board are so useless that they can't take away this referee to judge, to be in charge in this game. How we are the only team who have a foreigner referee on our own pitch. How we don't get a foreigner referee in this game is for me it's a huge loss for the board, from if you ask me. This board is they have done many things great. Okay, of course they have 3 championship, and outside the pitch, yes, I can understand that you shouldn't take every fight and every scream for everything. I'm a fan of that, actually. But in some situations, you need to defend your club. You need to protect the badge of the club, and that's not the board is not doing that. To have this referee at Kadıköy, you don't get to a worse situation than that. And if you had asked me before the game 1 point, I would have taken it. I would have taken it without even thinking. But how the game evolved, the game, where the game was after 80, 90 minutes, I was so 3 points or nothing almost, because we had so control in the game. So yeah, it's I am just so pissed off right now. It's difficult to talk anything, to talk about football, because when the referee clearly is giving these situations in favor to the other team, we got so many injuries. Kazımcan suspended with Eren Elmalı, Metehan. One player is playing 20%, like Osimhen. Lemina probably struggled a lot to play today as well. Both of them took injections, as far as I know. So it's for me. I have no words. I have no words. So I'm just sad. I'm just sad for the team. I'm sad for Okan Hoca. I'm sad for the management. I'm sad for the fans who travel there. I'm actually sad for Turkish football, because this is so ridiculous. It's so shameful. Even my Norwegian friend, he yeah, it's a bit weird, but he watched the game with my family. I'm living away from them, like 1.5 hour, but he watched the game with them. He's like a brother, but even he's a Galatasaray, he's Norwegian, but he's like, fuck this, fuck Turkish football. That's what he's saying, of course, because this is so obvious to see how a referee can ruin a game. Yasin Kol, congratulations. It's impossible to even watch this Turkish football. And again, I'm proud of the team. You played against 12 people. As Okan Hoca said, our players can have broke their legs, lost their eyes, and so on. And we had a player who played for 20%, Osimhen. Lemina, Yunus Akgün was on the bench. I'm proud of this team. This team has character. They are showing character time after time. We don't win all our games. We struggle in Europe sometimes. But in overall, this group of players makes me a proud Galatasaray. Abdülkerim as a captain as well. Fantastic leader. Played a fantastic game today. Yes, we are saying that we need a backup. No, we need a player, better player than Abdülkerim and so on. Okay, try to find that. Try to find that player. A player who has been so important in our 3 championships. Lucas Torreira, who's running all the time. He's so good with the ball, so underrated with the ball. And it's one guy who is ruining it to us for a day. I can't. It's impossible to talk about the game. So Yeah. I'm so pissed off. It's looking like it's going that it went well with Kazimjan. Um, he was on the interview after the game. So nice that he's showing himself and that everything is okay. It was yeah. I'm so pissed off right now. So and I'm so proud of the team with so many missing players, with players who are not in form and so on, against Fenerbahce's full team. And I think we played better, to be honest. We had much more control of the game. So I'm not even caring about the stats and what the stat was, what the goal expected was. We had the result. We had the full control of the game. Yet it was one man who wanted to give it away. So when we are talking about, the football things, Davinson Sanchez struggled as a right back. We saw that he's quick, but he's not quick on the short meters and the 1-2s, for example. But he did so well in many positions. So I'm not saying that he was bad. He struggled a bit as a right back. His agility and so on is not the best. And when he didn't get much help from Leroy Sané either, it's difficult as a right back. Kazimjan, I think he had control on his left side. Barış Alper helped him a lot as well. This game was a dry game, of course. Fenerbahce was 1-0 down, but they were like, they tried to control it to 1-1, 2-1, and so on. But we did everything right. We did everything right. Because when you're leading 1-0 and you have so many players like Singo, Jakobs, Eren, 100 or even a 50% Osimhen and so on, and you have the game in your favor away, they should have gotten at least red card. I'm not saying 2 red cards because the same player should have gotten red card, and we could have gotten free kick in right outside their 16, and Gabriel Sara has a fantastic shot. Who knows? Okay, if he had not scored directly from the free kick, that it will hit the wall and we will get a corner and score from there. You never know. Or if they had countered and scored 1-1. Okay, these things, but we are in attacking position. That's why what I'm talking about. All these small details. I can't emphasize that enough, how important these small details to go in the opponent's favor and killing our momentum time after time, how much more worse that is rather than one big decision. I'm not even kidding. If it had been like, okay, they have gotten Fenerbahce had scored a goal, that's even better than that the referees always giving them giving Fenerbahce advantage in every position. Because, okay, Fenerbahce got the goal, which was not a goal because I think it was an elbow in Davinson Sanchez's face, and I think it was a hands. But the elbow, where's the yellow card there? Why don't you even look at that situation? When you are in war and you are disallowing the goal, take the elbow then, because then it's a yellow card. No, we don't take that. We take the arm situation. Okay. Nice. One less yellow card there. Barış Alper gets a yellow card for nothing. Nice. Skriniar doesn't get red cards. It is not much more to say, actually. So I'm proud of the team. And it's Samsunspor on Friday. So if the players has no injuries, and if Lemina and Osimhen can play, it will be so important. to just come right back after this game, because I think it's much more positive things to take from this game rather than negatives, because we didn't need to create anything after we had 1-0. As I said, if Osimhen had been 50% today, he would have scored 1 or 2 goals so easily. He played either 10 or 20% today, and that was enough to defend, to keep the ball in some positions, to fight and win those duels and so on. But if he had just been 20-30% more today, more fit, he would have scored. It's as easy as that. He would have punished Fenerbahce's slow Skriniar so much more. So yeah, I think that was it. I'm not sure if it's any other situations. Yeah, it's just if this board is letting this referee judge our game again, I don't know what else to say, to be honest. So yeah, I'm so pissed off, and I'm looking again at people who are saying, yeah, but Galatasaray didn't create anything. How can they blame the referee? I'm telling it time after time. The game was in our hands. We did everything correct. We didn't need to create anything. That's what people doesn't understand. Those people doesn't understand that we didn't need to create one little thing after 1-0 goal. We didn't need to play football either. A Fenerbahce team who needed to score a goal had their first shot on goal, if I read it correctly on X, after 88 minutes. A team that was down after, when did we score our first goal? I don't know. It was in, let me see. It was in 27th minute. In 60 minutes, they couldn't create anything. So I'm just so sad. It's as we say in Denmark, piv ringe dommer presentation. What does that mean? I'm Norwegian, but I can't understand the Danish. Oh, this referee today, man. The board can blame themselves, to be honest. It's how he's continuing to refereeing these derbies and always giving us the red cards, doesn't give the other teams red cards, is for me insane. Oh my god. I'm just so pissed off, man. Oh, but 1 point is not bad either. We need to keep our heads up, because 1 point for us is good. Piss poor parish refereeing performance. Yeah. What do you think about the red cards? No one of them. Skriniar didn't get red card. It's for me insane, man. And how we don't get a free kick right outside their 16, it's for me incredible. I'm just... The worst thing for me in this game is that he was always giving these small positions in Fenerbahce's favor, and always killing our momentum, and always letting Fenerbahce gaining some momentum. Fenerbahce was dead, man. Fenerbahce couldn't create anything. Okay, we didn't create anything either, but we didn't need to create anything. We had the score in our hands. We had all of our injuries. We couldn't even, for us to sub someone was so difficult. Everything was in our hands. That's what people don't understand. Yeah, we didn't create anything. No, we didn't need to create anything. Because Fenerbahce created zero. And if it had been a normal referee today, we would have get free kick right outside 16. Maybe we would have scored. Maybe we would get a free kick in a corner or something. And we would have got more momentum, and Fenerbahce would get less and less and less. It's just these small things that, I know I'm repeating myself, but that's what destroyed this game. As easy as that. I'm just, yeah, it's... I can't understand it, man. I can't understand it. Metin Öztürk is talking now, yeah. It's time for you to talk now. I hate this, man. When the board is talking now, the board that's so... I mean it. If the board is talking now, it's ridiculous. They should have talking before the game. I'm against these board members that are screaming, that are, always talking and things like that. I like that the board isn't always talking. But when it comes to this referee, Melly, you knew it, I knew it, even us two knew that people like us knew that this referee would that referee destroyed it for us. Metin Öztürk said, Arda Kardeş's refereeing career was ended over one incident. And in the same type of incident, Yasin Kol stopped Galatasaray's attack. That was against Beşiktaş, if you remember, where Salai came on the sideline. He's talking now, Such a terrible referee was rewarded by being assigned to a match like this. Shame on them. A theater is being played out and we are watching it. We will not keep watching, he said. It doesn't help to talk now. He's talking about the Beşiktaş game. Today. That's what I'm telling. As I said this, I'm not sure if you heard this previous. I said this earlier in the video, Melly. I don't love board members who are screaming all the time. Like Ali Koç, Arjun Ilıcalı, and these people who were always in the media and so on. But at one point, you need to defend your club. You need to defend the team. And they didn't do that. They're doing it now. It's 3 months too late, Yeah, I know. So for me, it is so stupid to talk about that now. When it happened. You remember the Beşiktaş game. So, and this is another thing, Melly. Yasin Kol is not afraid to give red cards in derbies. He gave it to Davinson Sanchez at our home ground. And it was a red card. I'm not saying anything else on Rafa Silva. And Frankowski got red card. What I'm trying to say is that this referee is not like, no, he doesn't give red cards to anyone. But when it comes to Skriniar, the first position was the exact same. Did you see Chelsea-Arsenal yesterday? Caicedo. Exact same situation, man. Where Caicedo got red card. And Skriniar didn't. Exact same. And not only that, I'm not even sure if you saw that second position where Gabriel Sara got fouled right outside their 16. Did you see that he was kneeing? Skriniar was kneeing Gabriel Sara on his stomach while he was down. Maybe you didn't even see it because Guess what? Bainsport didn't show the replay there. But you will find it. You will find it on Twitter or so on. That Skriniar is doing such a shameful behavior there for me. It's straight red card, just the behavior there. If I'm trying to hit one player and I'm missing, that's a red card, you know. Or if I'm hitting one, hitting a shoulder or something. The Skriniar was clearly kneeing Gabriel Sara in his stomach. Yeah, it's not only league to league, Mel. It's from in Turkey. It's from game to game. In Turkey, and you know what? I'm not trying to defend any referees here in Turkey because it's so bad. But under those circumstances, it's almost impossible to referee a game. You know, where you are getting fired if you're doing a mistake. You know, the worst. For me, the worst thing is that. The Turkish Football Federation, how they are almost acting towards their referees. You remember when it was like, you remember the Barış Alper situation, right? Where against Sivasspor, where they didn't give a red card on the VAR situation. And you remember the Turkish Football Federation, he went out on TV same day and said it was someone against him. He said the Turkish Football Federation, the referees was against him. It was corruption against him. To have a Turkish Football Federation like that is for me insane, man. Yes, it was a clear red card. I'm not saying that on Barış Alper or Raymanay, clear red card, but that the Turkish Football Federation is going out on TV, on an amateur TV program with Erman Toroğlu, the most controversial persons, Ahmet Çakar, he's talking with them too, those two. The most controversial, I'm not even sure if you call them comedians or football journalists. He talked with them. And like, it's a corruption against me, he said. The Turkish Football Federation president. It's cool to be a referee then, you know. So it's just, this Turkish football is nothing but it's so difficult to watch, man. It's so, today I'm proud of the team because they did their absolute best, man, with the resource we had today. It couldn't be much better, to be honest. The game was in our hands, and it's a shame that we didn't get the third 3 points, because again we didn't play fantastic at all. But we didn't have to play fantastic. If it is one team that didn't deserve anything, it was Fenerbahce. They're at their own home ground and can't create anything against our injury situation with the players we had. You saw Osimhen today. He couldn't even run, man. He struggled so hard. Davinson Sanchez, I'm not sure how many games he has played as a right back. We couldn't even use Lemina. Lemina played fantastic as a centre back, but we couldn't even use him as a central midfielder. Yeah, Yasin Kol, you know, that's also Yasin Kol can't speak English, and that's insane, man. And look how he's seeing his face mimics, and so, man, I don't like this guy. I don't like this guy at all. I'm not even sure. Maybe I'm not correct, but I don't think he has like the FIFA license either to be a referee. I'm not sure. You can be a referee, but you need to I think to be a referee in Europe, you need to have like a FIFA license, or I'm not sure. And he doesn't got that. I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I heard, he doesn't have that. So for me, it's lobbyism in Turkish Football Federation. Again, where did Yasin Kol come from? What did he do to deserve these matches? Again, it is not many referees left. I remember one referee I liked many years ago, Halil Umut Meller. But he's finished, man. That referee is totally finished. He can't referee, he can't judge anything without VAR. He's letting everything go out of VAR because these referees are destroyed by the leaders in the football industry in Turkey. So, but today I saw something I didn't like, man, with Yasin Kol, to be honest. I didn't like what I saw because for me, it looked more like things was on purpose. I don't like to be, conspiracy theories or anything. But today I had a really bad taste in my mouth, to be honest. For example, Barış Alper is getting the hand on his head and he's blowing a free kick to Fenerbahce. He's making a normal free kick on Fenerbahce's, was it 16 almost, getting a yellow card. For me, it's not about bad refereeing either. It's about some. Again, I got bad taste in my mouth because this was on another level, man. And to have a referee who even can't talk English is, yeah. But what do you think about the game, Melly? For me, it's very difficult to talk about the game in overall. But what do you think? Like, are you disappointed? Or I'm really curious what you think about the game in overall, like the play and anything. It was for me, it was a very dry derby. Very, if it had been like if this had been in Boca Juniors versus River Plate, and I have watched the game without any feelings towards the game, I would have thought that this was a horrible game, in terms of quality, but and entertainment. Let me see. Yeah, it's 100% on. It's 100% on the federation, man. I never seen a federation like this, to be honest. I know that people are saying every time it's a new federation and president that it's getting worse and worse, but this is on another level, man. And this Super Cup format, what is that, man? Why do we need to face these teams? We won the cup, we won the league, and why is it in January, man? Why isn't it like in every other? Why isn't it like in Premier League before the season? They're putting in it in the middle of the season, and our players, many of our players are in AFCON when that's happening. So they're doing everything for money, as you say. That's football in general. It's not only in Turkey. So, but like milking everything out, getting as much as derbies as possible. I remember, for example, El Clasico. Suddenly it was one year it was like 6 or 7 games in El Clasico. I remember El Clasicos before when it was like 2 games in one season, and the whole world was watching that. Now it's like last season or whenever it was like 5-6 games. It was just incredible. So yeah, that's how the football are evolving. It's all about the money and all about draining the players' fitness and resting and everything just out. So yeah, but just to, as I said before the game, I would have been so happy with 1 point, but yeah. Yeah, yeah, our players are really tired, and in this game, of course, and I agree with you, it was a boring game. Um, in or it was a boring game, but for me, my heart was pumping. My pulse was so high, man. I was so nervous and everything, when you're watching Galatasaray. But the quality of the game was really bad, I think. And again, I personally think the team did okay, to be honest, especially when you're leading 1-0. If the players had been more fit, as you said, and not so tired, I think we could have punished Fenerbahce so much more on, for example, counters, but we didn't take those counters. That's the only thing I can say actually about um, that we could have done differently, I think, especially after we were leading 1-0, because it was sometimes we got like half chances and we could have countered, on relying on super performance by Leroy Sané or Barış Alper or even Osimhen, even though he struggled a lot, or İlkay Gündoğan, who opened up a midfield or something like that. But when you don't have that energy and don't have that fitness, and again, sorry that I'm blaming the referee, but when you are giving nothing to us and always giving something to Fener, it's unfortunately we are losing momentums where we could have gained momentum. And but yeah, okay, I talked too much about the referee. But also, if you had taken those counters, but again, look at Osimhen today. He played on 20%. He struggled to came out of offside. The one situation also when a ball came when it was an aerial duel and he tried to head it back. That is, and we lost the possession again. I'm not sure if you remember it. He could have headed it behind him, and Barış Alper would have gone on a run. That because the decision making will be worse when you are so tired, when you are not 100%, as Osimhen weren't today. It's those small things as well. So the decision making and so on, and Osimhen really fighted today, but he was not the Osimhen we know. He struggled. He and both him and Lemina play with injections, but Lemina was a monster behind there. The only thing, again, I said this earlier in the video, Melly, is that when Arda Unyay came in, Davinson Sanchez, in my eyes, should have played centre back from there on. Because I'm not blaming Arda Unyay in anything, because he's a fantastic talent, but in positioning wise, his experience and so on, he's not there yet. His raw potential is insane. But his smartness, his positioning without the ball and so on is still very weak, because he needs to play every week and out. And to not put, because I even think that Arda Unyay will have suited more as a right back rather than Davinson Sanchez. Davinson Sanchez did everything in his hands. But you saw that he struggled because Davinson Sanchez is not quick on the 1-2s. He's not quick on the short meters and so on. So it wasn't some positions that he struggled. Where Arda Unyay is a very quick player, has a very high agility. And especially in the box when they are crossing, Davinson Sanchez is not taking out any players there because he's playing as a right back. And that's a shame for me because Davinson Sanchez is one of the best headers in the league. Um, so that's I'm a bit sad on that actually. Yeah, I think so because again, I'm not trying to blame the Arda Unai. I love his talent, to be honest. His talent, for me, in my eyes, his raw potential is pretty insane. Not insane, but he's very good. Um, but you know, with his bad experiences, so he will hit back. You know, he will come back. It's nothing about that. But they have given him a good experience in this game as a right back to defend against uh, Åsheiden. I think even he could have defended against Kerem Aktürkoğlu um, with a very good success rate, to be honest. So for me, that is not, the most experienced players usually needs to play centrally in the field. And we know that when it comes, and it's easy to talk now, it's easy to talk now. So, but when you're 1-0 down, you aren't creating anything. Of course, it will come long balls, it will come crosses. But again, Kazımcan needed to go out. We were unlucky in that positioning as well. Because if Kazımcan had been on the pitch, maybe the clearance where Barış Alper was, he cleared it right centrally. Maybe Kazımcan with his left foot would have cleared it to a goal kick or a corner. No, not a corner, but a throw-in and so on. So again, an injury there. Thankfully, everything is okay with Kazımcan. But yeah, I think also İlkay Gündoğan played a fantastic game. To be honest, he had a weak game against Union, but today he showed his class with the ball. Wow, he was really a maestro on the pitch. He got tired, of course, and that's the reason why he needed to put on Arda Unai as well. I would have even been happy that if Arda Unai had been subbed in as a central midfielder or defensive midfielder rather than a centre back again. But it happened. I hope that the team will get more fired, get more motivated, because we need to be honest as well. We haven't given 100% in the league yet. We gave it today, of course, in a derby. But the players' mentality need to change a bit. I think I thought about this earlier today. As long as we're not too far behind in March, maybe. I'm not too much. If you are even with Fenerbahce or so on, after European run, I'm not sure when that's ending. But right now, the focus from the players, are 80, 90%, or maybe 100% on the Champions League. And that's really harming us in the league, All respect to Besiktas, but we should have beaten them at home. Look at how weak Besiktas are right now. And at home, we even played better than them when we were focused with 10 men. Trabzonspor, we should have beaten them as well. I'm just saying, derbies at home, it's so important to win those games. But anyway, if I have names I want to see in transfer in January, I still think we need a player. I'm not sure about names, to be honest. I think we need a player who's similar to Lemina, who's that defensive midfielder, physical player. Maybe the Club Brugge player from, let me see, Onyedika, which we talked about last episode. Yeah, Onyedika. I think he's a good player, but he's from Nigeria as well, so he's going to play AFCON. It's so difficult to say who What do you, what kind of players do you want, guys? I think we need a central midfielder, um, a defensive physical midfielder, like who is, if it's even, at Lemina's level or better. That's very difficult to find, or a young 20, 23, 24 years old player. I also think we need, it really depends. Do you want to have Salah as a right back rotation player or as a winger rotation player? Because if you're using him as both, if the right back or the one winger is getting injured, we are in huge trouble, especially on the rotation. So either the management needs to know, should we have Salah as a rotation player, as a winger, or as a right back? Because if they are saying that we want Salah as a rotation player, as a winger, okay, find a rotation player as a right back. If the management are very happy with Salah as a right back, then we need a rotation player as a winger. I think it all depends on what's available. And to be honest, January transfer window is so difficult. We got Ahmed Kutucu, Cuesta, Frankowski last season. It's so difficult to get good players in January. So, but we need to have a deeper squad. Again, as I said before, Kaan Ayhan, Berkan Kutlu, Yusuf Demir, Ahmed Kutucu, Metahan. Unfortunately, they are not on Galatasaray level anymore. I'm sad to say that about Kaan Ayhan, but his physique is just on a very low level right now, especially his quickness. He's so slow, Kaan Ayhan. Berkan Kutlu as well. As much as I like his mentality and so on, he looks finished as well, or not good enough for us as well. So therefore, I'm thinking at least one central midfielder and if it's possible, a young winger who can play striker as well. And then maybe Salah can be a rotation player as a right back with Singo. And then because we need a winger. And I'm not so fan of trying to get Lookman for 40 million euros. He's 28 years old. Maybe he will be an insane player for us, but 28 years old and his value is 40 million euros right now. I think that's a bit risky when our squad is already not that young. Yeah, Paqueta is definitively a good player, I think they're going to find a player who is maybe a star player who is struggling on the bench. They looked at Lookman's situation. Maybe one youngster from Chelsea, who has a high potential. Even I'm trying to come up with some names. City has many players like Kusano, for example. He's not playing anything for City almost. He can come on loan for it. It's those types of player I think we should go for. Real Madrid got some. You can watch there, but Paqueta is a very good player. I still think that's another thing. It's good that you mentioned that. As much as we need that Lemina player in my eyes, because if Lemina is injured, we are really struggling on the midfield. Today they did a great job, but also we have not replaced Mertens. No one can say that Ilkay Gündoğan is a Mertens player. He's not. We have one player who's good in tight positions, and that's Yunus Akgün in my eyes. Yes, of course, Ilkay Gündoğan is good on passes and so on. He's good to keep the ball, but he's not that player, He's not that Mertens or Yunus Akgün. So I think that yeah, that would have been nice. You can also look at. I, for example, thought about you know, if there are Fursa transfers, like Ben White is not playing a lot for Arsenal either. He's a good right back, for example. I don't know, those types of transfers maybe. Who wants to play? Who wants to play for the World Cup? You know, Sørloth from Atletico are really putting a ultimatum on Atletico Madrid, as from what I read on Norwegian media, that he needs to play before the World Cup. It will be some kind of situations like that where they want to play to get informed to the World Cup in the summer. So, for example, Sørloth, either he needs to play more, he says, or he needs to go. It is many players, man, that we can. As you say, in Paqueta, I'm not sure if he could have been insane, you know, but if he wants to leave West Ham or not. Yeah, it is many to choose from, but it's difficult, again, very difficult in January, because teams are struggling to replace their players if they're losing one player. So, but you know, maybe Bayern München, this is a bit ridiculous, but they are not using Sasha Boy at all at the moment. Maybe he can be available, you know, but the rumors are that he doesn't want to come back to Turkey. You also have Diaz from Real Madrid, who's barely playing. It is some players, you know, who can be available, but I'm really not sure. But again, I totally agree with Mertens, you know, that I don't think he has been replaced. So, yeah. But again, I think the desperate players who really wants to leave for their World Cup position can be more available players in January. But again, should you really go in panic mode? But again, we need players, but we can't use those new players in the Champions League before the group stage is over. And after that, you can register 3 players, I think. 3 new players. And take out 3 players. It's not difficult for us to take out the players, you know. We can take out Kutucu, Berkan Kutlu, Yusuf Demir. It's 3 players there you don't even use in the Champions League, you know. So how are you going to rotate them in the squad? It's just, I think it's a bad squad planning, man. Very bad, unfortunately. Because again, we don't have that Mertens player. We are playing with a number 10, but we don't have that Mertens player. We are trying to force Gabriel Sara and İlkay Gündoğan. İlkay Gündoğan can play that in an advanced role, of course. But Gabriel Sara, he played good today. I always said this, Gabriel Sara, if he's playing as number 10, if he gets space, he's good. But against low blocks, he struggles a lot to find positioning. And to be fair, to play in a number 10, you probably need to be the smartest player on the pitch without the ball, your movement and so on. For example, Yunus Akgün are struggling in that role as a number 10. Yes, he's going much inside as a winger, but it's different to have been being marked by your fullback rather than being marked by a center back who is behind you and a central midfielder who is taking space from you. So it's a very different role to play, not different, difficult position to play in as a number 10. So, you know, and to find that Mertens type who is working a lot, who is smart, who is good with the, it's a very difficult player to find, to be honest. So, yeah, I think again, the club needs to decide either a right back or a winger, if you, of course, have the limit of the money. And again, you can't buy 10 players because you need to fill the Champions League squad. I'm not fan of that you're signing 7 players and you can only register 3 players and the 4 other players only playing in the league. It's so strange for those players. The group needs to be in a harmony, you know. So to, for example, you remember last season when Salah was not registered for the Europe League in the first the part of the season. It's a bit strange, you know. So and I don't think it's good for the group, for the squad. So I think the team should go for 3 players. Maybe if you're okay, if you have so much money and you can buy more players, okay, go for 3 good players who can go directly in the squad and help the squad in the rotate situation. And if you want 1 or 2 more, buy some youngsters who got potential, you know, who are willing and happy to be on the bench for a period and then fight for the positioning. So because right now we have too many players on the bench who is not really on the bench. Again, as we counted, Metahan, Berkan Kutlu, Kaan Ayhan, Ahmet Kutucu, Yusuf Demir. It's only 5 players there. How many players have we got registered for Champions League? Is it 20 players? And then it's 5 players you don't really can or want to use in the Champions League. Then it's down to 4 players, and one of them are Icardi, who are struggling really with his form. And when he's coming in today, I'm not blaming him for anything either, but we are losing that extra thing with Osimhen when he's not playing. Even if he's playing 20%, we are missing that player who's fighting for every situation and so on, because that's our playing style right now. So I'm not blaming Icardi either, but Icardi is not the player you should change for Osimhen. It's not kind of similar player at all, and especially how we are playing right now, it just doesn't it's not correct whatsoever, I think, to have a replacement like that. So it's always good to have different players, but those two are so different that it's almost too different to be honest. And right now Icardi with his form and so on, I'm sad for that, but he's not suiting our playing style either. With his pressing, without the ball movements and so on. So yeah, we need youth and hunger. We need good enough players who are young and hungry. It doesn't help to have Ahmet Kutucu or Yusuf Demir or Metehan. All, you know, I always support our players, but you know what I mean. They need to have some kind of quality. These players have some kind of quality, but they're not Galatasaray material, unfortunately. Right now, maybe in the future they will be. But that's what's annoying me about, again, a bit with Arda Unyay. He needs to play every week and out, in and out, 90 minutes. Yet he's on, you know, when he's a sub for us, it doesn't help his development whatsoever. So therefore we should have gone for maybe more experienced. You know, he doesn't need to be that experienced either. 21, 22 years old. Arda Una is 18, 19. He needs to get that playing time before he's close to be ready for Galatasaray. But because right now he's not ready to play for us, and that's so understandable. So, but I agree with you. We need to have a younger squad, because if you look at Europe, look at Chelsea, look at Arsenal, look at PSG, Real Madrid, and so on. They have so young squads. And that's, that's the future of football. They're just getting younger and younger, these squads, because it's more about physicality, more about pressing. That's the new football. So to have a body that works 100% rather than have that experienced body who is like playing with experience and so on, are not that helpful anymore. So of course you can be at 35 years old and still be very good. I'm not saying that Ilkay Gundogan played fantastic as we saw today. You can have some old players, but right now we have too many old players in my eyes. So yeah, I think that was it, guys. So it was a sad day, but yeah. Please hit the like button if you like this video. Melly, nice to see you again. Keep your head up as well. And to the others who are or was or going to watch this, we need to keep our heads up, because this was not, it was an okay result, but yeah, it will be better, I think. So yeah, that we move on. 100% correct, man. Nothing to have our heads down, to be honest. We got 1 point. We are still leaders. 1 point away against the second place. It's nothing. It's no crisis yet. So and we have 9 points in the Champions League. We can't forget that. That's costing so much energy, and we're still leading in the league. So yeah. Okay, guys. See you. Bye.